How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. In this week's video, I thought it'd be fun to do a little challenge. So it's Halloween season, and that means that there is cheap face paint practically in every store in America. And so I thought it'd be fun to use this awful little paint palette set that I got from Walmart and see if I can do an actual painting with this awful face paint. And I've already used it a little bit for its actual purposes, but I figured the shelf life on this thing isn't forever and I didn't want it to go to waste. So let's hop right into it. So for this project, I decided to use watercolor paper because my genius thought process was, oh, maybe it'll like absorb some of the paint and it'll work that way. Girl, I don't know. But anyway, I took some inspiration from the packaging and decided to make a couple of little demon girlies. But we'll get more into that later. First, I want to address kind of an elephant in the room, which is, I'm sure you can tell by the intro, that I started recording this a long time ago. I was really hoping to get this out in October, very obviously, and it didn't happen. I was gonna say that this month had just kicked my ass, but honestly, this whole year has kicked my ass. But you know, we're here, we persevere, and I make spooky stuff year round, so I guess it doesn't matter that much that I completely missed the window to get out season appropriate content, but imagine me doing like a really weary thumbs up when I made that sound, because that's how I feel. But anyway, you know, we're here. We're caffeinated. We're gonna do a little voiceover. So I actually am really happy with how this sketch came out. I think they're really cute. I like drawing a couple of girlies looking at each other with love because I am a woman enjoyer, and it's a shame that I don't think the paint job on this sketch quite lives up to how much I like it, but that's a later problem. Speaking of later problems, this video ended up so much longer than I thought it would be because I decided to make this piece huge for some reason, because I guess I just wanted to prolong my suffering. So strap in, y'all. Get some popcorn, get cozy. I think this is a good one to like put on the background while you're working on your own stuff. So it's like we're in the trenches together. You know, if you're suffering, I'm suffering. We're all suffering together. So now that the sketch is done, I can finally get in to the real meat and potatoes. And I just had a thought when I thought of this project where I'm like, oh, maybe it'll be like working with a really shitty oil paint or something. And I don't know how to really, like, it's sort of like oil pastels, kind of. I'm okay, full disclosure, I only ever took one art class ever in my life. I haven't worked with a lot of mediums. I don't know what oil pastels really work like, but I feel like this is sort of similar based on what I conceive oil pastels to be like. So I just gooped up this paintbrush with this just like thick, chunky, slippery substance and started spreading it on this dry ass watercolor paper. I don't know what would have been better for me to work on, like what would have been a better canvas for this, like maybe an actual canvas might have worked better, maybe like I could have blended things easier, but I didn't do a test run, okay? I'm like, I'm gonna do a massive sketch and just dive in, because I'm not gonna do it more than once. I'm not gonna, you know, test out my materials. I'm not gonna do scientific method, bro. I'm just gonna hop in and hope that it works. And I mean, it kind of did. For the record, I do recommend testing out your materials before doing stuff like this. It's way smarter to do that, but I haven't been feeling very smart lately, if I'm being real honest. So sometimes you're feeling stupid, you know? And that's this whole project. Around this point, my husband walked in on me working on this, and this is how that went.
What are you doing in here?
Being stupid.
Being stupid.
Yeah.
Snobby's job.
Girl, I know.
Kiki.
I was like, wouldn't it be so funny to do a video where I'm like, can I make a painting with shitty Halloween face paint? And the answer is kind of, but it sucks so bad.
Oh, I'm really so dumb. You're so dumb and we love you. Because you're stupid.
It's kind of funny to me that I knew that this was a bad idea, like, from Jump Street. Like, I'm not even that far into this project, and I was already, like, having a horrible time, and I could have just stopped. Because here's the thing, I feel like not a lot of people are gonna watch this video, because it's not a whole video, and so I feel like I took a really long time and put a lot of work into something that I'm just gonna get almost no reward from, and I just kept doing it anyway, because once I start working on something, I have to finish it, even if it's a bad idea. And so if you do decide to sit through this whole video and you're like a real one, I love you. I love you, thank you. Also, to like add insult to injury, I had to get rid of a bunch of footage because I kept getting my head in frame, because I was standing for the majority of this filming like I was standing bent over my desk because that was like the only way to like get the angle and like film everything. And so I really got a really nice lower back workout, but as a result my big dumb head is in a lot of this footage. I did rectify this in my second filming session, but it was devastating to go back through. And I'm just like, wow, I can't use any of this. That's fun. So there's that too. The good news is that I did manage to capture when I realized that I had messed up.
Does my hair keep going in front of the fucking camera?
Yes, Randy, and it's more than just your hair, it's your whole head. At some point, I do just start using my fingers to like spread stuff around, and I don't know why I didn't just do a finger painting video. It probably would have been funner. I also started just like making potions basically, because there's like other little things that came in this face painting kit, like this vampire blood, and I'm like, oh, maybe I'll use it as like a paint thinner. Like I'll mix it with the paint and maybe it'll help it spread better. That didn't work. I was just trying stuff out. But it was fun. Like I said, it felt like when you're a little kid and you're like, I'm just gonna mix a bunch of stuff together and surely it'll make something. No, I might as well have gone out in my backyard and threw some dirt and twigs into a little bowl. It would have been probably more enriching. You know, touch some grass. You know, I could have like thrown a roly-poly or a caterpillar in there and like watched them roam around. Like, I feel like that sounds like a fun, good time. So, we all know that my October was whack as hell. But how was your guys's? You know, did you guys have a good spooky season? Did you dress up? Did you watch some good fall freaky movies? Did you see some pumpkins? Did you sit on a hay bale? You know, Did you walk around in some corn? I would love to. I want to know that somebody had a good spooky season this year, because I didn't. I think we'll touch base here on some of the artistic choices that I'm making. So as you can see, I decided to make this girly shirt green, and that's because that's the color I had a bunch of still, and so I was running out of some of the other ones, and this was, I think, the best option I had of my limited options. And I threw some gray in there to like desaturate it a little bit, and also to like help add some dimension, I guess. I think it also makes it like a more appealing color, because I think straight from the palette this green is a little bit of a dookie green, and I didn't want a dookie green. I want something that was a little bit more appealing to look at. When I was like painting all of her flesh stuff, I had forgotten the bottom half of her arm as well as her little like midriff, because she's wearing sort of a crop top, and so I had to go back and do that. And at that point I was just using my fingers, because it's just way easier to get decent coverage with your fingers with this stuff. So back to the topic of spooky literally anything. I saw Saw X in theaters a few days ago, and so last night my buddy Anna and I did a thing that we do kind of hilariously often, which is we spent like an hour just talking about the Saw movies, because she's never watched any of them. She just read the Wikipedia articles, and I've seen all of them several times over. And there's something just so fascinating about these movies, because they're so, like, you know that the answer is that they're stupid, but there's just enough stuff there that, like, if you wanted to divorce the movies from the fact that they're stupid, they can be really smart. Like, everything I think that the Saw movies do that is smart, I feel like aren't done on purpose, but they're just very fascinating movies to think about. Anyway, this is all to say that I was trying to talk about the similarities between John Kramer and the lead man in Breaking Bad, but I couldn't fucking remember his name, and so I'm gonna play for you guys a voice note that I sent my friend at like 2 in the morning. Yeah, like truly between John Kramer and fucking, oh, who's Jesse Eisenberg? No, wait. John Kramer and Walter White should kiss, because they're both men that got diagnosed with cancer and then just made it everyone's problem. I think my favorite part of Saw X, which is mild spoilers, I guess, but you kind of get a glimpse into John Kramer's life that you don't really get in any of the other movies. And by that I mean you get we get to see him just like hanging out on a park bench, sketching out his little murder contraptions, and it's so funny. Like, this man is literally one of the most like notorious and prolific quote-unquote serial killers, even though he like denies that title, which is also really annoying. I hate how often those movies like, I'm not a killer, I give everyone a choice, or whatever. Like, these people would not be dead if you don't make them like gouge their own eyes out, okay? Stop it. But anyway, he's He's so very much a criminal. And he's like, anyway, I'm just gonna sit in the middle of this public park and sketch my little murder devices where anyone could just like walk up and like look over my shoulder and see what I'm doing. The only thing that could have made it better is if he was like also feeding the birds or something, like some other old man activity at the same time. Like, they really try to frame him as like just some old man in the 10th movie, and it's like, you can't lie to me, dude. You know what this really makes me want to do now? I really want to make like an Amanda doll. I want to put a doll in like the reverse bear trap. Like, I just think that'd be really neat. But I also have to sculpt the reverse bear trap. And also I think it probably would be one of the most upsetting, like, people are already kind of creeped out by my doll hobby as it is, at least, you know, some people that I've met. And I feel like if I'm like, here's this doll I put in a literal torture device, they would be even more upset by it, but that almost makes me want to do it more. I'm gonna try to get, like, I have a few doll projects that I'm currently working on. I've just been allergic to finishing anything for the past several weeks. Alright, I don't know why, what curse has afflicted me, but I'm just struggling to get anything like completely done. And so I'm gonna try to get crack-a-lackin' on finishing up some of these doll videos I'm working on so I can get them out here pretty soon, because like I said, I don't think anybody's gonna watch this video. And I would like to put out something that people will actually watch, and that's mostly just my doll videos. So we're gonna try that, alright? Speaking of watching my videos, I'm gonna do my little calls to action now. So if you watched this far and you like this video, consider liking it. It really helps me out a lot. And if you want to see more art videos from me, consider subscribing. I'm trying my best. And I would love to have you guys along for the ride, because some people like it here, and who knows, you might too. Also, the link to my store is in the description. If you have an interest in purchasing some of the things that I've made, you can find that there. And if you have thoughts, feelings, opinions, go ahead and leave those in the comments below. We're winding down towards the end of this video, and I just gotta say, as much as I have been kind of complaining about this whole process and making this piece, I do actually like how it turned out. Like, is it what I thought it would look like? Is this what I sketched out? Did we lose some details because I'm working with a very finicky, you know, medium? Yeah, but I still think it came out pretty cute, and I don't hate it as much as I thought I was going to hate it. Like, I am gonna put this bad boy in a little frame and hang it up in my office, and it'll be like a little reminder of like a kind of silly thing that I did one time, you know? So I can't say that I recommend doing this, because obviously I had a pretty difficult time. However, if you think that you could do better, I would genuinely enjoy seeing you try, and send me the results, tag me in it, because like part of me feels like you could do something cool with this stuff. I just am limited by my skills and the fact that I did not like take any time to figure out the best way to use this stuff. So if you learned anything from this video, feel free to apply it yourself, you know? And with that, it's complete. Here are the final results. You already know how I feel about it. I hope to see y'all next time. Love you, bye!